Ladies, let me see the masks. Very nice, very nice. I'm getting like the pre, masked up. Let's see your mask. Where's your mask? Where's your mask?
Right here.
Hey, let me get some. Show me your mask warm up. Get ready.
My mask warm up?
Yeah, there you go. Okay.
Like this?
I'd say it's good form. Good form. Let me see. Let me see what you're doing. Okay. Good. Nice. I think everyone's got the general idea down, yeah. Yeah, I don't think you can mess it up.
They just left the house. They should be here in 5 minutes. Okay? So, hey, well, let me turn the lights off because we want everybody to... Good looking crowd, though, I gotta say. Look how tall he is. Christina, you're in big trouble.
You wanted a party,
guys. I did not want a party.
Should we sing happy birthday?
Should have said something.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Oh, no.
Happy birthday, dear Darin.
Sweaty.
Happy birthday to you.
Okay, Darin. Darin. Robert.
Darin, everybody is here because they love you and they want to wish you a happy birthday, and they were promised free food.
Yeah, they got that. They got that.
Okay, and we know that you're looking forward to turning 50. About as much as we're looking forward to hearing you whine about.
Yeah, yes.
Right. And so you're to sit at this end because when the farting starts, we don't have to poison everybody in the room.
Come on, Dan.
And really, you don't have to say thank you either because you're paying for this.
I left my wallet out in the car.
All right, let the party begin.
Oh my God, I can't believe it. Sweaty.
Hey, ladies.
Mario! Super Mario! How are you? I didn't even get dressed up tonight. I love you. Thank you. Thank you. Hey, boys. I knew the tall guys. I saw
the point we parked the car, I had no idea. I thought we were just coming to enjoy a nice dinner and taking Danica home and doing the whole thing. And then when I walked in, and I was surprised. I mean, I told Christina that I didn't want one of these things. I didn't.
Yeah, but you knew that was no good, right?
Yeah, that was probably my mistake.
Yeah.
It's just all the great people in my life that meant so much to me and have a part in who I am. They're here. I mean, from my best friends to my best acquaintances, going back from when I was, as small as 6 years old. Stuart reinforces how important friends are. And then people that I've known in my adult life, like Stan and Mary, and all my buddies I train with, and of course you. I've seen you since. It's ironic that the day I got married was sort of close to the same time that you were born, and it's an eye opener to show, sort of open your eyes as to life moves along at a pretty good clip. And for me, it's been about making mistakes along the way, and then hopefully not making the same ones over and over again. And I've accumulated a lot of great things, but most of the things I've accumulated are great are my friends and family.
And your crazy family.
Crazy family.
Unfortunately, they're here too, right?
Nah, that's the most important thing. Overall, it's, as you know, Derek, family is. Without it, we're lonely. And we're incomplete. So I'm very happy. I couldn't. Although I said I didn't want it, I'm so glad it happened.
You have to say it.
Yeah.
You have to say you don't want it, right?
But the thing is that if I look around the room, what resonates for me is how blessed I am to have such great friends and have the experience of from a childhood best buddy who I met when I was 5 years old, Stuart Hill, right here. Here. All right, go! And thinking that at that point you touch a lot of people, you see a lot of people, they come in, they're in your life in some way, and the fact that they remain good, close friends is really important. I think it's a testament to you, Stuart, and your friendship has meant a lot to me over the years. And as I look around my family, for those of you who don't know, my mom is no longer with us, although she's here tonight. I know she is, and
She's gotta be.
yeah, and I was very blessed. But I'm also blessed with great family, nonetheless, from two fantastic uncles who've been father figures for me, to my Aunt Charlotte, who stepped in over the years as a mother and kind of kept me straight.
I don't believe it!
Yeah. She tried. Life is one of those things that you kind of leave little footprints in the sand along the way, and the footprints that I've left, I'm proud of. There's things that I've sort of done that I would like to redo in my life, but you know what? We learn along the way. We hopefully don't make the same mistakes over time. But I also then think about all the people that I've met from the time when I was really young to this old age of 50, and I look around the room and I see my cousins, these kids who were just little diaper-wearing guys, and now they're like 6'5" and 3. You're 6'5" and you're 6 whatever, and older and smarter and great looking, and it's like a blink of the eye, and it's happened. It's amazing. And then I look at my good buddies over here who I've spent hours and on trainers and out running and hurt myself over the years and in the water, and I'm so blessed that they're here and supporting me, and made great friends with them. Stan and Mary, I can't thank them enough for being just great people and great friends, and supporting our family, and we've got a great bond that'll never ever be broken. I'm so grateful for your friendship. I can't tell you how much that you guys mean to me. And Robert, I remember you running around in your diapers too. Yeah. And look at you now. He's got a car. He's about ready to start
Coming to
driving.
get you, Darin.
They're after you.
We're coming to get you.
Oh, they know that. There was a time where I would have been scared about that. Those days are over. Anyway, just thanks for coming, and again, I am very blessed, and I hope that that we all have a chance to enjoy each other's company tonight, and just know how much I love every one of you. And thank you for coming.
You're here.
We love you. So in case you didn't know, actually Darin is part black.
popcorn box tonight that, you know, sort of showed stages of Darin's life. And he and I actually sort of met at that first stage way back when we were about, I don't know, 5 or 6 years old, playing Little League football. What they don't show, of course, in this picture is the guy next to him whose ears were the only thing that held the helmet on. So. But Darin and I, you know, he called us friends earlier, and technically we are, but really we're brothers. And we've been brothers for life, so I love this guy to death. And people always look at me a little strange because it's not David Bondo or Charlotte or Paul, it's Uncle Dave and it's Uncle Paul and it's Uncle Charlotte. If they don't know the relationship, they're looking at me like, I don't get it, I'm sorry. What's going on?
I don't think so.
But we've been through so many times together and, you know, both good and, you know, some sad, unfortunately, but we've always done it together. And I don't know, I just think back to some of the times like, well, we have a mutual story that both Uncle Paul and I will share, but it has to do with a trip to, you know, Pasco, Washington, and we were, you remember this one, Jim?
I do remember this one, Stuart.
And we were, I'll only tell half of it, so Uncle Paul can tell the last half of it, but he had a prized Buick Skylark convertible. And he made the mistake of lending it to Darin and friends for a buddy's weekend to go watch the hydroplane races in Pasco, Washington, or Richland, Washington. And, well, let's just say it didn't all come back in one piece. Well, actually, it did come back in lots of pieces, some sitting in the back seat, you know, and we'll let Uncle Paul tell the rest of that story. But there's, you know, looking at this photo over here with Darin Redmond High School, he's running around the end with the ball in his hand. I'm probably the guy on the other end of that.
You're going to catch the ball, Stuart, yeah.
I mean, Darin and I, we first met each other in football when we were 5 or 6, and we played football together in junior high school, in university. He went to UPS, and I would come down and spend time at his games. He would come up to UW and see me play at the U. And it's been a bond that's been unshakable. It's just been amazing. This is my best buddy for life. And, you know, he's the amazing sportsman. I mean, look at this guy. He turns 50, but he's always the smoothest, sweetest, best fit guy in the room. He looks like he's 35, doesn't he?
No, some money, Stuart. Some money, buddy.
But I do remember that first day that he started snowboarding because he did not look smooth at all.
Yeah.
And I remember that we're up in Whistler, and it's Darin and his brother-in-law, Dean, Christina's brother, and our friends Sal Gonzalez, and the three of them decided, you know, let's try snowboarding. And I just didn't have the courage because I had heard that snowboarding on that first day could be a little rough on you. Well, I do remember watching Mr. Smooth. I mean, this is a guy that everybody's loved, and has just always kind of glided and been just the amazing Darin Smith, just fumbling and bumbling and stumbling like it's nobody's business. Isn't that right, Darin?
Yeah, that was painful. It was painful.
So after the end of the day, I remember him and Sal and Dean coming back to the condo, and they're not able to move, and they're literally peeling their jackets off and peeling their turtlenecks off and have black and blue welts all over it. Remember that?
Tough day.
So that was his first day of snowboarding, and I thank you, brother, because I've never snowboarded a day in my life.
I learned from my mistakes.
And then, you know, and we've been through some trying times together too, and, you know, the Bondo family and the Smith family and the Hill family have been together forever. And I remember very sadly the passing of Greta, who we all love very much, and sees you today turning 50 and is very proud of you. She sees Danica and Melina and Christina and the wonderful family you've raised, and just is very, very proud of you. Just like my mother was, who couldn't be here tonight, but she asked me to wish you a very merry and happy 50th birthday, and said she loved you. So,
Thanks, buddy.
so I couldn't chastise him too much. I mean, look at the way
between 1 and 2 years old. And we lived together like family, and we lived together, even though it is my nephew, we lived like brothers for a couple of years up there on Cougar Mountain, until we drove Greta crazy. Paul and I did particularly, in sort of teasing Darin, making him cry, laughing about it, and yeah, picking on him, which still today is still a lot of fun, although a lot more dangerous. I'd like Paul, Brother Paul, to come up and maybe share some of what he remembers.
I remember his first birthday. And birthday cake that was set
He
in
looked
front of
pretty
him.
similar, didn't he?
Yeah, very similar.
The hair, the whole hat.
No hair.
And so, yeah, no hair.
Right.
The cake was set in front of him. I think there's a picture of this. And we just kind of mimic Eric, do this, and then do this. And so he was in the cake and putting the cake all over his face. So, I mean, that had to be a tradition with Kirsten, my daughter, and every kid that came up after that was with cake in the face. So, but I was looking for a few things to say, and I was sitting down today, and I was looking around for something to write on, and so, that's it. So,
Good clock right there.
here. So, I'm going to bring it back.
Get your glasses.
Okay, so, well, yeah. Now, I know a few things about Darin that Darin doesn't even remember, because my relationship with Darin was when he was little. And, we had him kind of under my wing for several years, and I moved off to California, and, had to be one of those California dudes and kind of lost track of being around Darin a lot. But I do remember several things. Football. So, this is how the story went. Darin was very athletic for those sports, even when he was, this tall. And he was the youngest kid in the neighborhood. But all the kids wanted Darin to come out and play because Darin was a very good football player in the street. So he was running around, kids wanted to come out and play, and this is how the story was told to me by his mom was, I can't find my shoes. And he's running around looking for her shoes. I can't find my shoes. And finally, his mom says, well, Darin, where did you take them off? And Darin goes, I took them off my feet. So, then was every smart guy. Yeah, pretty smart. I mean, that's pretty logical. I took them off my feet. So I had gone away to college, graduated, came back working in the area, and I thought, well, it'd be fun to play football again. So there was a semi-pro, just long before the Seahawks, there was a semi-pro team in town called Seattle Cavaliers, and I was playing for them. And we're playing Shoreline Community College, I think it was. And I'm out there in the field. I had no idea that this was going to happen. And then I hear somebody tugging on my pants as I'm standing on the sidelines waiting to greet the next guy out there. I look down, and here's Darin staring up at me, with a big grin on his face. His Uncle Paul's playing football.
Pretty cool.
So after that, then football was progressed to, I moved back over to the areas where we were able to see when we was playing football at Redmond High School. And we'd go to the games and see Darin out there playing football with Stewart, and Darin scrambling for his life with a ball in his hands. And the only reason he played quarterback, or he couldn't coach, is because he's the only kid on the team who could throw the ball. Well, Stewart was the only kid on the team who could catch the ball. And so Darin was running for his life every time. It was, where the hell are you, Stewart? Pitching the ball out to Stewart. Right? True. So then we go to on up to the UPS football games, and we watched Darin play football up there. And Linda and I and Jordan were there for more than one of the football games. Well, Jordan was kind of there because Linda was pregnant with Jordan at the time. And believe it or not, That was almost 30 years, that was 30 years ago. No, you were still pregnant, it was 30. So, I can't believe it's been 30 years, Darin. I can't believe my kid's gonna be 29 years old. Yes. Okay, now the next thing I know about Darin when he was little, if you don't remember this, if you remember those football games either, was Halloween, which is, a couple days away. I went out to his house, and he walked in the front door, and Darin says, Uncle Paul, there's a Halloween mask in the closet right there. And I go over to open the door. Don't open the door! Don't open the door, Uncle Paul! And his mom told me that Halloween mask scared him to death, so he didn't put the Halloween mask up. Do you remember that?
I do.
You do?
Clowns scared me.
Okay, now, the next thing was, I took him fishing over in Port Angeles. It came up. Darin was, kind of my son I never had yet. So I wanted to take him fishing, so over to Port Angeles we went, got in the boat, and out in the Straits of Juan de Fuca. Nice, warm day, the sea is kind of gently rolling up and down like this. That was Tony Cox. Tony was running the boat. Darin was sitting in my lap, with the fishing pole over the side. Tony looks at me and he says, he's looking a little green. And so next thing I know, Darin is fishing over the side of the boat. Chumming, yeah, Darin's chumming. The other thing was that when Darin was growing up, was that he could not keep a secret.
Don't ever tell him a
So, this story was told to me, so I might not get this exactly right, and Charlotte might have to help me out with this. But Darin has spent some time up at Charlotte's house with her boys, one of whom is several of whom are not here at the moment. However, Greta went up to pick him up, and we were driving home, and Darin is chuckling. Remember this?
Well, there was a few things that just could.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Anyway, Darin was chuckling, and his mom says, "What's the matter, Darin?" "Oh, nothing." Finally, after several of these "oh, nothings," he says to his mom what had happened up at the house about Chris and Gil. So, come to find out, now Charlotte, I might get this incorrect, but anyway, Darin explained what was going on with Chris and Gil up at the other house, and it seems as though Gil, the older brother, wouldn't let Chris in the house to eat unless he took all his clothes off and ran around outside. Darin thought this was quite funny. I might have this little one, you can correct me. So, couldn't keep the secret, he spilled the beans to his mom. Of course, his mom didn't call Charlotte. And Charlotte then.
Well, I remember it differently. I remember Darin and Gil getting in a fight on a Christmas holiday. Darin was staying overnight.
That's a different story.
And they wouldn't leave each other alone, so I made them take off their clothes and go outside and fight in the snow.
That's a different story. That's a different story, right?
You'll be in jail today.
What happened was, unfortunately, was that
Darin has to help you do it. I want you to stand up
I'm not doing that.
and play the air guitar.
Okay, what song?
Rolling on the Reaver.
What is it?
Rolling on the Reaver.
So when I was small, a long time ago. And
Short? Short or
shorter.
small?
Shorter, yeah, shorter. One of our favorite songs was it
Proud Mary.
Proud Mary Keeps On Rolling.
Rolling on the Reaver,
Yeah.
yeah.
So when I was a little guy, I couldn't pronounce rolling on the river. So I would say rolling on the reaver, right? I'm not gonna play the air guitar.
Do it! Do it! Sing it! Dance! You're a monkey, Dance! You're a monkey!
Rolling.
Okay, the good stuff is coming. Who else has a little something? Something?
Mark does.
Mark does. Come on, Mark.
Man. Yeah, Mark.
Yeah.
Okay, the pressure's on, Mark, because this is the good stuff, huh?
Yeah. Is this the part where we talk about Darin using his nose as a road grader?
The good news is Stanford is about to lose to UFC. Which
That's good news. That's really good news.
54 seconds left. Stanford's down 7.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Pretty ironic. I met Darin. We used to go to the same barber. Pretty funny. We always joke that we didn't know each other at the time, but we always joke that we just like to go and just chit chat with our barber because obviously it was a pretty easy cut.
Quick one too.
Yeah. Darin and I have been training together for a few years. And my wife Teresa used to coach him. And then
She has an age limit.
then she fired him because he didn't follow the program that well. But anyways, no, it's a joke.
Younger men.
But Darin's obviously everyone knows here, he's a really good guy, he's a hard worker, he'll do anything for you. We get coffee together a few times a week, share some good stories, but last year he wasn't able to do triathlon like he wanted to. He had a little bike accident the year before and he was recovering from that and a little bit of Achilles issue, but this year he's got some good things in store. He'll be back at it because he loves it, he's passionate about it. It's like his family, they support him, which is nice. It's a tough sport and he's a tough guy. So my wife Teresa and I love working with him, and hopefully he stays around for a few more years with us. And,
Not going anywhere.
but I do have one story to tell.
Okay, here we go.
I don't write anything down. I can't back up what your uncle did. But last year we were doing a triathlon camp in Coeur d'Alene. And Darin's co-worker / boss, Jack, was there. And we were setting out for, we were going to ride 112 miles that day and then do about an hour run afterwards. So it was about 7-8 hours of exercise. And we always make sure that our athletes, they fuel well beforehand. And Darin's pretty set in his ways, imagine that, right? About what he eats for breakfast, I don't have my fresh berries, Mark, and I don't have my Greek yogurt. So I'm like, do what you gotta do, just make sure you get in, 1,000 calories, it's gonna be a long day. Well, the first loop, there's other people, so Darin's showing off, and he's riding out on front, using all this energy, and we're back here. About hour 5, everyone's way gone, and we're like, where's Darin? We're worried because, having an accident, you kind of think those things sometimes. And so I turn around, and I go back, and I find him. And literally, I don't know if you can possibly be moving this slow on a bike and being
If you would have I would have.
And so I say, Darin, are you okay? Are you okay? He goes, yeah, I'm fine. And he couldn't even look at me. He was just like so out of it. His body was cramping, and cycling, you're clipped in to this pedal, and you have to, move your heel out to unclip. He's like, oh, I'm just going to take a little break, and he went to unclip, and he didn't even have the strength to clip out. So finally he gets off the bike, and I'm like, Darin, I'm going to go up and tell everyone, we'll put you in the car and drive you back. And of course, stubborn Darin, we still had like 40 miles to go. He's like, no, I'm going to make it back. So I ended up staying with him and rode back into it. But the moral of the story is it's no matter how much he's struggling in life or business-wise, he'll always make sure he finishes a job. And it was ugly, it hurt, but he got through it. And I think in life that's kind of his motto is don't start something you're not going to finish. So that's all I got. He's a great guy, and happy birthday, man.
What he didn't tell you is he gave me mouth-to-mouth resuscitation. And I totally appreciate it.
Was it optional?
Yeah.
Also, the game is tied.
It's time.
Put the hat on.
How much time?
There's 38 seconds left.
I jinxed him.
Put the hat on.
I can't.
Hat has to go on.
Hat stays on.
Hat has to go on.
Is that it?
All right, who else? Stan, come on up here.
Wait, 1 second though. Before.
I'm not gonna tell that.
No. Before he says anything, the folks from the people that train with me, the reason why we wear the logo Pinnacle on our uniforms is because of Stan and Mary's generosity. They have supported us, to the nth degree, and I really appreciate it.
I'm not gonna be any easier on you.
I know.
No, listen, this is a short story, and Darin and I have had a few adventures, but we share a passion for football, and specifically Seahawks football, and it was 1998, and we were so happy because Mike Holmgren came to take over the head coaching job, having left Green Bay, and wouldn't you know it, the schedule gods had scheduled Monday Night Football. The Seahawks were going to play in Green Bay. And so Darin and I knew we had to be there. And I had been there years before and told him, look, this is a great place. I said, it's so Midwest. It's so cool. I said, yeah, they might invite us in, for dinner someplace. And he goes, yeah. So we go, and it was an October evening, and it was freezing cold, clear out. I mean, we did the whole troll near Red Farm's restaurant and all these other things. Saw some guy in a diaper running around with a cigar.
A green diaper.
A green diaper.
Green Bay.
It was strange. And everywhere we went, we were of course wearing our Seahawks gear. Everywhere we went, they're going, well, welcome to town. So nice to see you. And Darin's just
Made a lot of friends.
no, he's very anxious and he's very upset. And the game starts, and we're sitting on, at the time, because they hadn't remodeled it, just these benches. Wind whips underneath, and you're freezing. And we're sitting there, not necessarily prepared, and we're sitting next to these nice people, and they're bundled up in parkas and so forth. And there's two parts of the story that are kind of funny, but so the Seahawks are doing well. Things are going well. But on every offensive series, when Green Bay has the ball, if they make a yard, Darin's up and he's screaming. And he's not screaming a little, he's screaming personal things about the players. He's calling somebody's mother's into question, whatever, and so forth.
Didn't even drink at that time.
And we're obviously pretty cold, but he's staying warm. And this lady kind of says, if your friend wasn't being such an asshole, I'd share my blanket. I said, it's okay. He's just, he's excited. And he keeps on going and keeps on going. By this time, we're up by 3 touchdowns. We're going to win the game. It's just ugly time. And he still won't let them have a yard and so forth. And so this little lady tugs him on the thing. He's tugs him on, keeps on yelling and screaming, Sonny, you're winning. Sit down.
She was so sweet, too.
To me, not really just a nephew, but more like a brother because he lived with us for several years, and showed him how to, swing around up in the alder trees and build tree forts, and how to beat up the kids across the street, shove their face in the cow pie when we played football and that kind of stuff. So we have just a little different relationship.
Yeah.
I mean, I love all my nephews and so forth, but our relationship just is slightly different because we live together. But one thing that we love to do, and I'm not sure, Paul mentioned the birthday cake, but actually, really the fun times was when he sat in the high chair and there would be mashed potatoes and gravy on his plate. And Greta would get up and go in to help Mom in the kitchen. And it would just be Paul and me and Darin. And we would go like this to our mashed potatoes. We'd put our hands like that, but stop about an inch above the gravy and mashed potatoes. And then just go like this in her hair. And Darin would just go wham! Down in the mashed potatoes and gravy, and they'd fly everywhere, and then up into his face, and through his hair.
And Greta would come back and look at him. and then look at Paul and me and go, God damn you guys. Start crying and everything. Anyway, so if you ever see him with mashed potatoes in his scalp, you'll know what that's all about. So who else has a little something that they want to talk about? The top 10. The top 10 reasons why Darin hates turning 50.
Oh.
And this was
The hat is number one.
actually authored in most part by your cousin Gil, who couldn't be here. He actually could only come up with 7. I came up with the other 3. But, so, top 10 reasons Darin hates turning 50. Number 10, they don't make double knit running suits. Number 9, the hair club for men doesn't have a senior citizens discount. Number 8, Lululemon doesn't make bibs. Number 7, pretty soon he's going to have to trade in his road bike for a power scooter. Top 10 reasons Darin hates turning 50. Number 6, his company's health insurance won't cover Viagra. Number 5, Men's Health magazine canceled his subscriptions and replaced them with AARP. Number 4, all his cousins are grown men now, so he doesn't have anyone to force run naked around the bushes. Number 3, I had to have explained to me later. Number 3, all Coke bottles are made from plastic now, so it's harder to pop popcorn.
That's a long story.
That's an inside thing, must be. Okay, top 10 reasons Darin hates turning 50. Number 2, he is concerned that pretty soon his daughters will start dating boys like him.
There's no doubt.
And the number 1 reason Darin hates turning 50 is the tanning beds don't tan the inside folds of his wrinkles. You know what? One of the things that Darin's famous for is being a crybaby. And the reason he does is because he wears his heart on his sleeve. And he wears his heart on his sleeve for the things that matter to him the most. And the things that matter to him the most are his family, and his family, and his family. And he's a sweet man, and I love him dearly. Yeah. So Paul, what's next?
The cake's coming
Cake?
out. It's coming out. I'm
Music.
gonna sing.
Overtime.
Oh, they're going to overtime. All right. Who gets the ball first? Well, you got the little info, don't you? Okay. Oh.
Arizona's up